Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. The newest wave of G.I. Joe Classified is showing up. Today, we are looking at Big Boa, one of the more wild characters to show up in Classified, and I love that they're going in this direction. They're not shying away from, some of the stuff that really made me love G.I. Joe back in the day. On the back, we've got the nice Renderama with the cage fight business going on. Oh, does he actually have blood on his tape? Wow, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. I got cool art on the side. Got a little QR code that, as far as I know, still takes you to just the G.I. Joe, or I don't even think it goes to the G.I. Joe website. It might just be Hasbro's website. Doesn't matter. And then our little specialties down here. Let's get him opened up. I'm excited to see this expansion into some less military specialties. And combat instructor, pretty reasonable military specialty, but also, I mean, look at this guy. He's something a little outside of the norm, and I really appreciate that. Got the little inset in the back of the box that I wish wasn't so glossy, but really nice image. And the box itself, this packaging, this is the stuff. I mean, it really is. It gets you a good view of the figure, does everything you need it to do, including fold up and go in the recycling. All right, man, his colors look really, really nice. I'm very happy with the blue that they've used on this. Let's get everything out of here. No little twist ties or anything. It's all, okay, those are separate pieces. So be careful when you're popping his boxing gloves out, because the wrist is a separate little piece that potentially could go flying off your workbench or wherever you open your toys. But no plastic ties or anything. Somehow the Classified team is the one team in the toy industry. I don't know. I'm trying to think of I guess Marvel doesn't have that. So Hasbro probably as a whole has that down. Look at that. Wow. He does have blood on those wrappings. That's really wild. Also, his spikes are super duper pointy. All right, let's get the accessories out of the way so we'll actually focus on the figure here. That portrait is something else. Oh man, look at okay, we'll do a little zoom. Well, here is the figure as a whole, and for a little size comparison, let's get our pal 00 Snake Eyes, the very first figure of the Classified series. Back when he came out, we didn't even know if it was really going to be a series or not. But you can see Big Boa is a big boy. Much larger than the average-sized 00 Snake Eyes. And I will point out, he has deco hits on his nipples, which is something new to the line. And we'll have to discuss further when I do the quick kick unboxing, because I'm a little disturbed by some choices here. But the spikes are super pointy on his gear here, so be careful with that. I mean, they are, rubbery, but they've just sculpted them to be extra pointy. So that portrait, let's get into that now. Well, let's get into how he feels. How do you feel, Big Boa? Angry. No, I'm talking about, of course, how the plastic feels. All the joints feel good. The plastic feels sturdy and solid. Everything looks good. And so I guess these tights are a new sculpt. Now that I'm thinking about it, he has got some big honking thighs. Look at those thighs. He's got some Mantar thighs going on there. I don't know who else. Oh, who else uses these is if they do a new Slaughter in his mail-away gear. That's exactly who can use these legs. So let's hope we see that happen. All right. So now we'll do our zoom. Well, actually, you know what? Well, no, let's zoom in first. Okay. Because we got to take a look at this portrait, this beat up portrait that some people have said looks like Rocky, but I got to say, I think this looks more like Arnie. I mean, obviously the dark hair doesn't, but facial feature wise, this looks more like, and I'm not saying it's exact. I'm not saying this is, an Arnold Schwarzenegger portrait, but this looks like more like Arnold Schwarzenegger to me, which would be doubly funny if they do get the Rocky Balboa figure out, which of course the original intent was that Big Boa was going to be a nemesis for a G.I. Joe Rocky figure that didn't happen because of Rambo. That would make that even funnier. So the portrait's amazing. Look at the 5 o'clock shadow on this guy. Really nice deco touch on that. That's another thing. As I've told you guys before, I just don't look super closely at something that I know I'm ordering. So, and a little cut under the eye there, missing tooth, obviously. He'll pair nicely with your beat up Chuckles, if you so desire. So, let's get down, because I love this portrait. I'm not displaying him with this portrait. He's got to have the original. Oh, no, that's interesting. What is that all about? That's really interesting to me. I mean, it may be nothing, but, All right. It's going to be tough to get this other head on with these spikes, because normally how I would grip a figure to change the head out is like that, but those spikes are in the way. And the spikes on top of his head are in the way. Oh, this is terrifying. That head does not want to just go on. Oh, did I get it? Oh, I think I did get it. Yeah, it's on there. Okay. So they've downsized his helmet just a little bit from the original figure, which is fine. That's weirdly loose on there. Maybe I don't have it all the way on. But whatever, it's good enough for the review right now. So, there is our current Big Boa. Here is the original Big Boa. As you can see, they made some different choices with his harness here. The helmet is, it's, I think a little fuzz on the back here. It is upgraded, but stylistically basically the same. Looks great. Made the codpiece look a little better, to be honest. The boots are just about the same. And went with, a little different shade of blue on the tights, but I do like it. Looks good. And he's a little more tan. It's this Big Boa a little jaundiced, but that's okay. He's an 80s toy. We'll let it slide. So there you go. There's your side by side on those two. And of course, the original Big Boa. And I believe me, I am well aware that the Cobra logo has worn off. I need new Big Boa boxing gloves. But the deal that I got on that Big Boa figure was tremendous. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, well, I'll go ahead and get it and just look for boxing gloves if I ever, find any. And it's hard to find his boxing gloves with the Cobra still on them. The punching bag is a great accessory from the original. And with the new classified version, they have chosen instead to include weights, which I don't prefer, but I do understand for the purposes of toy production and considering figure photography. These weights can be used with anyone, so that you can throw them in a Joe Gym for Roadblock and Gung Ho. You can use them in all kinds of different scenarios, and they could be repackaged and used with another figure. Whereas if you throw in a punching bag with Joe written on it, very limited reuse on this one. very limited toy photography. Like, toy photographers are going to look at these and be like, oh, that's an added perk of me buying that figure. Look at something like this and going, well, that's good for him, and that's about it. So I get the decision there. And I'll be honest, I don't really feel like I need the punching bag, really. So let's do a little swap, because as much as I like this, and it looks great, and look at the, I mean, look at the sculpt, the detail. It's fantastic. These hands look great, and I hate to not use them. But, I mean, this guy has got to have the boxing gloves. There's just no way around it. So I am going to take his little wrist piece here and just stick that on there. That pops right in. Look at that. Looks great. Boxing gloves, tremendous amount of detail. You can see the different components, the way they're made up. The wrist part, you can see the wrap, the Velcro, where it wraps around right there. I don't know if I have yeah, I do have them both on the correct way. Good for me. And the boxing gloves might be a little smaller than I'd like, but overall, he's great. I love it. Like I said, I need more of this kind of out there stuff in my classified series. I really, really dig this guy. Just all of the details that they've got in here, all the stitching on the harness, where it all comes together in the back and the front here. He just looks absolutely great. So Big Boa, as far as I'm concerned, a must-have, something unique and different, and really something that makes Classified stand out as more than just a military line. This is the kind of thing that can pull in people who maybe aren't, huge Joe fans, or don't know that Joe is more than just regular military stuff. Like, they could see something like this and think, well, you know what? These are just good figures. Maybe I need to check Classified out. But there he is, Big Boa. Knocked it out of the park as far as I'm concerned. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things. And until next time, yo, Cobra. Yeah, I know that was more Stallone, but that's a boxer voice. It's just it's what all boxers literally sound like that. So, Cobra.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.